Hello everyone, welcome back. Thanks for clicking on the video. Well, I think the title of the video says it. It's the 1K review. I've gone slightly over, naughty me, but I've got a good reason. Today's the Monday, and over the past weekend I was at the Oxford Harley-Davidson headquarters doing the road captain's training. I shall put up the video link above. That was fantastic, but obviously from Essex all the way to Oxford, that ate up quite a bit of the mileage, but strategically I made sure the bike would go into service today, the Monday. So I'm on my way to Woes. I'm going to drop the bike off. It won't be ready for today. Just a little note, if you are dropping bikes off for service, especially with Woes, either do it the day before, have it collected, or you've got to drop it off quite early in the morning. If I try and do that all the way from Essex Shire, I'd have to wake up at least 4 o'clock, get to the garage. Yeah, it's an ordeal, so I'd rather take a bit of time out of work and just make a leisurely way through London and not being stressed out trying to get there in time. Okay, so 1K, how has it been? God, I think the best way to describe this is by saying, I love that, I still love that, the hill hold thing. Best way to say it is, was it worth the money? I think, because at the end of the day, you're buying a product with an expectation. Has it done that expectation? Are you getting your money's worth? Is it good value? All of those little bits and pieces, 1 billion bloody %. I absolutely love the bike. I'm going to give you guys an example. The run from Essex to Oxford over the weekend, and it was, you know, what, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, full days riding, really, for me. Not one bit during that whole weekend did I say, oh, I wish I bought something else. In my head, I was constantly praising the bike because it just, doing a motorway run, just that simple thing, just doing a motorway run, it's effortless. And obviously people are going to think, well, that's the whole point, you've got a touring bike. It just made that whole thing pleasurable. You know, I got to the end of my destination, yeah, just pull out. Oh, by the way, I mean, this is London, so that's expected, they will just pull out on you. And now I've got to balance the bike doing 20 miles an hour. Jumping between first and second gear, the joy. God, where was I? It's just made that whole journey a pleasure. Right, now don't get wrong, I could have done it on a soft tail, I could have done it on the low ride dress, but I know I would have been bloody smashed at the end of the day on the whole motorway journey, because you've got all of that beating down on you. I would have had to have took a rucksack for sure, just even if it's a short weekend. That's what I did. I took a rucksack and it was half full, but so that would have been on my back. And anyone who's ridden with a backpack and you go touring on it, yes, it's doable. You know, it's not like it's extremely difficult, but it just adds that little strain. If you are going to get a rucksack, go on, mate. I'm doing a video. You might as well come out. Do you want to come out today, please? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You've got a nice, I was going to say nice car, you smashed it. You're welcome, sir. God, what was I saying? If you are going to get a rucksack, especially for the sports bike guys who do touring, you guys probably know this anyway, Krieger's rucksacks, and they've got that strap bit that goes across. Oh, they're bloody well good. I've got a little one. Love those rucksacks. So you can do it, and all I had to do was get my rucksack half full for a weekend worth of clothing and put it into the saddlebag and lock it up. That's it. Like, that's it. You know, it's little things like that. Before I would, you know, try and stuff a ton of things into that saddlebag, and you could only put like maybe the rain. I've got like a really thin rain jacket by Klim. How the hell do you pronounce that manufacturer? K-L-I-M. Klim, whatever it is. You guys know anyway. I got one of those thin... Jesus, what happened there, man? It's like someone ate the car. Anyway. And, you know, I would just barely fit that in. And then you got to... So I could either then take, if I'm doing like a weekend or like a week away, then, you know, it gets a bit more hardcore. Then you've got to get the Krieger travelling big pack on the back. I didn't have to do any of that. And then we were riding, obviously we were doing rides for half a day on the Saturday and the Sunday. You know, I can put one spare glove there. It was warm. In the morning it was cold, so I'd wear these Nox gloves, and then it was really warm in the afternoon. I had my spare bear, it was in there. I could take off my chapter vest, leave it in the saddlebag. I can put all my camera gear and leave it charging. Alright, I forgot where I was then. I just had an important phone call come through. Typical, yes, you're doing a YouTube thing, you're trying to battle London's traffic. Look at that view. Architecture enthusiasts, and if you're into the modern architecture, look at that. Bloody love it. Gosh, right, I don't want to smash into the back of that dude. Am I going the right? Oh, okay, alright. Yeah, so love the architecture. Sorry, this is my thing. I love all of this. It's been a while since I've come down here. God, where was I? Lord help me, because I've completely and utterly lost my script because of that phone call. Yeah, so we were doing all of those day rides and just hop on, hop off. All of that was just fantastic. Oh, road closed. Okay, right, so we can't go that way. What, even for... No. God, London, man, you are... No, love, wait. Sake. Where are we going? I don't know. What was the point of this video? I don't know. Yeah, the bike, 1k. Right, back to script. It's the little things, and I think I'm sure I've said this a billion times in my other initial sort of review. It's the little things that all add up to give you this package that is, I'm not going to say perfect. We're going to come on to the slightly negatives. I'm going to go this way. Well, guys, this is a bit of historic and modern architecture besides the 1k review. So as a whole package touring bike, what I wanted, it ticks every single box. I am so glad I went this way instead of the ST. Don't get me wrong, the ST would have done the job, but just there was one element that I love and hate, and that's what I'm going to come on to, and that's what the ST really would have, you know, you would have sort of missed out on, and that's this, the Skyline OS. When it's working, and I mean when it's working, it's bloody paid for itself. It's paid, like, done. It's finished. It's done. It's paid for itself. Super happy. But God, when you... Busman, no, wait. But when it's having a mare and it's having an episode, and I'll give you an example. I've got a Cardo, I always forget what model it is, beyond me, the name of it. Was it the Neo, the Edge? One of the, it's the magnetic connecting one. That's obviously connected to the bike, and it works straight away. When I turn this on, it connects straight away. No hesitation, it's there. You get a little message that says, Cardo, whatever, is connected. Now the phone, which I have to connect via wire because we're in the UK and Harley-Davidson forgot to do 5G permission or whatever it was. We have to use the wire connection. Sometimes it will connect, sometimes you've got to wait half a month, sometimes it just won't play ball. Which way am I going? Oh, that way. And you know, it's just, I think that's the best way to describe it. It's there's a couple of tricks you can do. If you hold on to this little Big Mac and a motorcycle button, I call it, you can switch off the whole entertainment thing. Not your speed and all of that, the tech and all of that. It just turns off everything and reboots. Sometimes that helps. Sometimes you could be half a mile down the road and it will just connect. If I've got, let's say it has connected, Apple CarPlay is working and everything else, lovely jubbly, it's all working. No, wait, one of these, you get a ticket. Fuck. Alright, I think I'm getting a ticket. Yeah, there's a really sketchy crossing here, a junction near the bank or whatever. No, one of these, there is a junction here. Right, we can filter. God, where was I? Yeah, so when it is working, and let's say you turn the bike off, you've left your phone, still connected, you know, let's say you're getting fuel. So it's been working beforehand. You leave the connection as is. All you're doing is switching the bike off, getting your fuel, jumping on the bike, and then putting on the ignition, and you're starting. You just presume it would all work back again, right? You just, it should just reconnect. Nope, it doesn't. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of sad, really. That it's those little connection issues. I've done the latest update, so time of filming, it is on the latest update. That's one of my biggest gripes. Skyline is amazing when it's working. Oh, another one. I could be listening to Apple Music, all right? I've got a playlist, I'm playing it. Working lovely, I can hear it. Super happy. Then, extreme randomness, it would just go into silence, and then right here on the top you get a radio station name come up. The radio station ain't playing though. It's not, there's no music coming out of it. It's just pure silence. You can try and mess around with the buttons, but then all that will happen is Apple Music comes back on again. Random connection stuff like that. I'm hoping Harley-Davidson just is really on top of. The quicker you move, the less I'll run you over, mate. Bloody hell. I'm just hoping that Harley-Davidson is on top of all of that. That'll be nice. Otherwise, it is a brilliant bloody system. That's another thing, not having the phone on display, especially in London. I think I told you guys in one of my videos. I know someone who's nearly had their phone snatched off if it was on a quad lock. He's waiting at the lights. The guy sneaks up behind him, tries to grab it. Well, luckily enough, I think he elbows him in the face, and the potential thief disappears. So you've got nothing on display. Everything's there hidden away. The phone's hidden inside there, so that's not on display. And also, that's less susceptible to vibrations, maybe, I think, than having it sort of on the bars. That's another thing. If you are putting your lovely smartphone on the bars, make sure, whether it's Peak Design, Quadlock, or any of the other brands, make sure it's got the anti-vibration-y, like the padding thing that they come with. The seat, I covered that in another episode. That's bloody awful. The stock seat is awful. Get rid of that. Buy yourself a Saddleman, Mustang. There's another brand that keeps coming up. I don't think it's available in the UK unless you order it through their website. Bad Boys seats, I think that's always coming up on forums. So that, just get rid of the seat anyway. Harley just do a decent enough job. That's like a mass produced seat. Handlebars are bloody great. I love it. The position, you're just in that really nice dominating position. Love it. What else? Oh my god! Do you know what? I'm trying to think more of the negatives. It could be cheaper. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? If it was a cheaper bike. Yeah, bloody hell. What else is there? This I'm thinking of changing, but if you're kind of below 6 feet, you should be okay with it. Where I'm sitting slightly higher now because of the Saddleman. I need to change that, and I was chatting to some of the guys from the whole road captain's training. Cheers, mate. Hey, I want to do that. Get a dog and put it on my rucksack. That'd be awesome. We'll go on adventures. I shall name my doggy. What can we name our doggo? What's a really cool name? Wilberforce. That's a cool name for a dog. Right, okay, I'll diverse. Right, the bloke with the dog in his back. Bro, what are you doing? The dude with the cool dog in his rucksack and who commented on the bike distracted me. Another distraction. Where the hell was I? Lord help me. Oh, a secret little tip for you guys. If you're coming to St. Paul's or you're going to the Tate across the river and you need a car parking space, especially on a Sunday, right over there where that red car is. That's my spot when I'm coming into the city and I need to park up here on a Sunday and going for a wander. That's where I park. Tourists, don't get run over. You don't want to ruin your holiday. Okay, where are we? What are we doing? I've took the extremely headache-inducing... Oh, indicators. I don't know if you guys noticed that. There is, I think... I mean, I don't think it happened now, that issue I'm thinking of. Sometimes you do the indicators, you do your turn, they don't auto-cancel. I think it's a known issue. Or there is another update maybe, or this has been updated and it's still doing it. That's something I've seen on a YouTube video someone was commenting on. You know, that sort of randomly pops up. In terms of the speakers, I don't use them. Oh, I can go sort my life out. Come on, you can do it, Ty. In terms of the speakers, I don't do it. I think they're a novelty item. Here in the UK, I couldn't, man. Yeah, sometimes I listen to like a cool bit of house, garage music, a bit of dance music, yeah, a bit of Slipknot, Korn and all of that. Do I want people to be listening to that as I'm riding along? Someone might like it, someone might not, but I just, if you're doing excessive, like, you know, if you're doing high speed, that it just, with this windshield, you're not going to hear much of it. I know people who have put Glockworks and higher inch models on them. They say that improves if you're listening to music on the highway. Yeah, besides that, I'm just really picky now. Bloody love it. You know, the water-cooled part of the engine, especially like here we are, we're stuck in London. That, you know, if you're a London rider, you need a bike with water-cooled part to your engine to keep it cooled. The air-cooled Harley-Davidsons I've ridden, man, they would suffer. I'll never forget riding, it was the Lowrider S, and it was like 30 odd degrees in London. Yeah, we do get those. And I was stuck in a traffic jam somewhere. I'm trying to filter the heat coming off that bike, that poor bike, what it went through. At the end, I kind of gave up, pulled over somewhere, just let it cool down. You know, like things like that. But I'm super happy this has got that water cooling part to it. So it's a less thing on my mind to worry about. I can then concentrate on lunatic drivers in London. Speed limit, speed limit, speed limit. Okay, guys, I'll see you at Woes. Honestly, I'm trying to think of any negatives. I think that's the key stuff when you do these reviews. I really can't. It just works. It does what it says on the tin. I mean, what more do you want? You know, I wanted the touring bike for that fairing, for the saddlebags, that to make my life slightly easier. Tick, 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 like it bloody does it. All right, let's get to Woes. Oh, that looks interesting. What on earth is that? It's a Ferrari, but what model is that? Do you know what? Ever since motorcycles came into my life, I've just completely and utterly not lost interest in cars, but I just don't keep up with all the new models. But anyway, wait, I'm digressing there. Well, it's still the Monday, and I just got the bike back. I am forever grateful to John Towns. He leads the service department there, and all the team at Woes. I rolled in. You guys see it. It's still the Monday. I was just expecting to drop the bike off. I didn't even want a courtesy car. I said, guys, look, I can come tomorrow. I don't want to be a burden. John Towns was like, no. He goes, have you got 3 hours? I'm like, I'm free. Be careful. I'm free for the whole day and tomorrow. He said, if you don't mind waiting. Okay. Bit of crazy going on, central London. yeah, so as long as I was okay to wait, they had space to quickly do the bike. Bonus, I didn't even ask for it. They washed the bike. This bike was disgusting. I actually apologised to John Towns and said, John, I'm really sorry, mate. I'm giving you and the mechanics the bike in a really filthy state. They took care of it for me. That is the service you get from Woes. Now, some of you will straight away say, yeah, but you're a chapter member, you're a road captain, you know them, they're looking after you. No, they're looking after a customer. Full stop, that's it. There's no anything about it. Yeah, I know the guy's there, but there's no obligation for them to do anything like that. Because, like John Towns knew, I'm dropping a bike off on Monday, I'm picking up to Tuesday. And in order, customer service, man, that's what it is. He said, we can do it for you as long as you're okay to wait. Yeah, let's do it. The time of recording, actually, do you know what? I did say to John Towns, I owe you a kebab roll. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is the TfL strike with the underground dudes. So tomorrow would have been super funky if I had to make my own way down without a courtesy bike. I would have found my way. It's not a deal breaker. But he has saved me in that sense. But the bike, it runs. Do you know what? I always love getting a bike serviced after the 1K because it just feels like a different beast. All of that gunk and horrible oil from the factory's out. We've got fresh oils. Yeah, I just screwed that up, didn't I? Go on, mate. It's not like I'm going anywhere. Yeah, the bike is running really good. I'm just trying to think. I highlighted two little things for John Towns to look at, but they were sort of me just being me. They were non-issues. I'm not going to even bother repeating in the video because they are stupid stuff. Like I did say to him, John, I'm really picking, mate. I can't find any, because he asked me, is there anything you want us to check out, any issues? No. No. Wash is clean. Like I didn't even expect that. I was going to just wash it during the week. But yeah, they really did look after me. Thank you, guys. What was interesting was Rob War and I, we were chatting about, because I was like, Rob, the only problem I've had with the bike is that Apple connection thing, because that's where the phone lives. So we've got to use the cable. He has actually got in touch with the top dudes at Harley-Davidson and highlighted that whole 5G, 2.5G kind of thing issue. So, because all it is, we can have 5G here, but it just seems the UK was skipped out for whatever reason, who knows. Hopefully that gets sorted, then we can actually have the whole wireless thing going on. And we're not having disconnections, maybe they can have a look at. So yeah, he's already highlighted that issue to let's do the bus lane because we can, or bicycle. Oh guys, I might as well tell you this funny story with TfL. Well, is it funny? I don't know, but I'm kind of laughing now because it was stupidness on TfL's part. I have a auto pay account with TfL for congestion charge. I've got cars and sometimes I go in and out. Auto pay is slightly cheaper and it's automatic. So I've got a mind like a sieve. I know I'll forget and then I'll have TfL's bailiffs at the door because I forgot to pay the 18 odd pounds or whatever it is, and it's turned into £500,000 because I've missed the payment. So I have an auto and I put the bike on there. It was probably the day I picked it up or the next day. God, it's a bit chilly all of a sudden. So I've put the bike on the TfL's auto pay account besides the cars. So the cars are for congestion charge and the tunnels. We've got two tunnels in London that you've got to pay toll for, which is Blackwall Tunnel and the Silvertown Link. I put the bike on that account for the tunnels because if I use the tunnels, it's like £2.50. I know I'm going to forget. So if it's on auto pay, hey, no worries, it's taken care of. Now, long story short, after I've got the bike, I've registered it, I went and checked my account. I just wanted to see how much I've paid for the month. The monthly payment was way more than what I knew I had used the cars going in and out of the congestion zone. the sum didn't work out. So I'm like, what? So I went and checked. Basically, it's like, you know, what vehicles have gone in and out on your account and how much they've been charged. The road glider was on there for using the congestion charge. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, motorcycles are exempt from the congestion zone. Mine was charged twice the day I picked the bike up. And guys, if you remember, I did the video about coming back to Woes to do the puncture repair on that day. So cheeky TfL charged me twice for a motorcycle. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, all right, there's an error. So both the payments, because the thing is, because it's auto pay, it's just come out of my bank account. I've then contested both the payments, sent them proof. I sent copies of my V5 to say, this ain't a truck, it's not a car, it's a motorcycle, it's exempt. I did it for both of them, and I also made one main complaint, which was to say, sorry, look, it's a motorcycle. I'm going to show you guys how it appears on my account. So they've actually got what's going on? Oh. So I'll show you guys a picture of how my bike appears on my account. It'll have the registration and it tells you what's exempt and not exempt. So ULEZ, it's exempt, it's a motorcycle and it's compliant to all the Euro 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 or wherever it is now. It's beyond me, I don't know. It's compliant, it's a brand new bloody bike, it has to be. The tunnels, yes, you're expected to pay. Motorcycles have to pay for Blackwall Tunnel. But right next to Congestion Zone, it says, yeah, you've got to pay. So I sent all that through and said, that's wrong. But, you know, TfL didn't contest it. Not long after, I got an email to say, yep, we've just put in your exemption through the system. Both the payments, so instead of giving me a refund, the cheeky so-and-sos, they've just added it as credit into my account. Like, yeah, maybe I'm not going to use the account, man, but I want my money back. But I genuinely can't be asked to argue with TfL. Yeah, I'm over it. But yeah, they did that. So if that happened in reality and you didn't have a auto pay account, what would have happened is you would have received a lovely bill from TfL saying, you've used a congestion zone, you haven't paid your 18 quid or whatever it is, here's a bill for 150 or whatever the penalty fee is. All you would do, I guess, is just what I did, and that was you contest that it was a motorcycle, you shouldn't have been charged, and you'd be pardoned, I guess, and have a refund. Well, no, if you haven't paid, you ain't paid. So yeah, they would have cancelled it. That was interesting. That happened with the bike. But besides that, it's running great. Stuck in 20 miles an hour. I can't really go anywhere or do anything adventurous just yet. We'll have to get onto the M11. We can open her up. But so far, absolutely loving it. Oh, it's £1.62 here, guys, and then £1.95 for diesel, if anyone's interested. So today is April the 20th, 2026. That's how much it is. But in the 1,000 miles, you know what? It doesn't feel like I've done 1,000 miles. It just, I was saying to the guys at Woes over the weekend, that trip I did to Oxford, I was there and back. The bike, the touring model, everything that goes with it, it made it effortless. And I think that's the thing I can take away from all of this. It just makes those journeys a bit, you know, effortless. And it's the right choice for me. I do like it. Mind you, Dan and I at Woes, we were just chatting about choppers. I want another bike, I want a chopper. But we're effectively bankrupt right now. So yeah, unless we get sponsored, I can't see that happening anytime soon. And that's where I would be grateful if you could like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love listening to reading the comments. They're fantastic. Let me know how if you've got a road glide, how it's going. So far I'm loving it. I'm going to say it again, you guys are going to probably turn off right now. I love the hill hold. Hey, Mr. Ducati, it's nice bike. What's that? Multistrada 1200S. That looks cool. If you look this way, I'll give you a wave. Look this way, look this way. No, just because I'm a Harley rider doesn't mean you can ignore me. Don't be like that, man. Like you're ignoring me. You're a biker dude, man. Don't ignore. Come on. Look this way and I'll give you a wave. I'll tell you your bike looks nice. You're missing out. You're missing out. Okay. Awkward silence from the Ducati dude. That's why they call him douche caddy. Fine. I'll just be a Harley rider and ignore you. Typical. The weather's turned. Awkward silence. Just out of interest, I will Ducati riders like this. Do they ignore everyone? They might do. They might not. Right, we shan't judge because of the manufacturer. Bikey rides. Awkward silence. Carries on. Please turn green. Please turn green. Yeah, you go ahead, mate. Well, after the Ducati rider who ignored me completely, let's wrap it up. 1,000 miles with the Road Glide. Absolutely loved it. I can't really fault it except for the skyline, and that's just software and coding and ones and zeros. I know in time that will correct itself. The power, it's there when you need it. I really use the sports function. I was using it on the motorway now and then. I just find the normal road one to do an okay job. It's more than enough for me. I mean, even sports mode, it just makes it a little bit snappier, you know. But man, overtaking and things like that, super happy with. All the little cubby holes. I love stuffing little things in it. I've got to put the phone there anyway because of the cable connection. This one, all the camera stuff goes in. The Skyline system, it works. The online maps and all of that and other bits and pieces, it works. It's lovely when it works. When it's having a glitchy moment, yeah, just give it time. If you are going to buy one of these bikes, just give it time and be patient with it. That's what I'm doing. Some of you will say, oh, you spent all that money, or I'm spending all that money, I shouldn't have to be patient. Well, that's life. Sucks. I know I could get a GS and it could go a light. Yeah, there's been cases of those as well. The hard bags, love it. I stuffed it full of stuff on another trip over the weekend when I went to Oxford. One bag, I could fit my chapter vest in there. I even, when we were doing the lessons, when we went out, one of the guys, Mark, he didn't have space on his bike to do his vest because he had other things in there, and he had to take the vest off to put a high vis and this. Long story short, he asked us, he said, hey guys, does anyone have space for my vest? I'm like, hey, I've got space, man. So I helped the fellow biker out. It's the little things as a collective and as a touring bike just makes it a pleasure. You know, I've said this before and I hate repeating myself. You could effectively tour on a scooter, right? One of the Uber dudes. You could tour on that, man. You know, it really doesn't matter, but it's, you know, your comfort level, how much luggage and bits and pieces you can put on. When you come off the bike at the end of that ride, are you smashed up like you've just had a couple of rounds with the Hulk? Or has it really just been a relaxing, pleasurable ride? That's what this dude does. There's the odd argument you get, I guess. That's a big old American touring bike. That's good to go down Arizona on straight roads. Do you really need it in the UK? I've been using it in the UK. I've been using it in central London. Yes, filtering, I still do a couple of prayers before I filter because I'm still not 100% comfortable. But as my bro Dan from Woes says, if the front gets in, you're doing all right. So that argument about big American bikes in the UK, do you really need it? Then why not? We've got motorways. I used a motorway over the weekend. I went to the speed limit. I got to the end of the destination, nice and relaxed. You know, that's a really out of date, out of tune statement to make. American bikes for American roads. No, don't be silly. Yes, you can tour on one of the other harley-davidson chassis models like the Softails, even the Sportster S, man. You could tour on that. You know, but it's just you'd have to have a backpack. You try and fit something on the back fender bit. Oh yeah, guys, this is kind of funny. Right, that says 12 o'clock, right, on Big Ben. And that says nearly 20 to 4. Big Ben's having a meltdown, apparently. Interesting. as a big American touring bike in the UK, it's doing a lovely job. It's doing a fantastic job. It's doing what it's designed for. And the fairing itself, yeah, I might change that windscreen part, but I didn't have to, you know. I don't have to. I can. It's not that bad, to be honest. Anything under 70, and that's what you should be doing on the motorway, it's perfectly fine. Guys, look. Oh no, my finger went on it. It was doing that indicator thing again. Right, Google Maps reckons I need to... Oh, there's more protests. Who's protesting today? Let's have a look. Right, guys, if anyone who doesn't know London, that's 10 Downing Street. Protesting. Yep. Armed police. Let's see if there's... Yay! There's the horse dudes. Yay, so we've got the guards as well. And you guys have clearly seen it with me riding this big old club. It's perfectly doable in London. So far, I'm loving it. 1,000 miles. It's been a pleasure. And for many more miles to go. Yes, we're in April, we've got May, and then June. June is the big one. Mid-June, we're setting off to Portugal for the Hog Rally. Then we're heading over to Saint-Tropez for the chapter event. It's going to be 2 weeks on the road. I think that's going to be an ultimate review, how this dude does. And stick around, subscribe, please do, like, comment. Definitely hang around for that trip. I'm going to try and record as much as I can of it. Hopefully we've got enough memory cards. But guys, let's leave it there. Leave a comment if you've got any questions on, if there's a specific question you have on the road ride, leave a comment below. I'll answer it straight away. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Be safe. Until next time. Bye, guys.